Ah, darling, welcome back to my sanctuary of shadows, echoes of the dark. I am Violet Nocturne, as beguiling as mystery and twice as dangerous. Sit down, but don't get too comfortable. Tonight, my dear, we are descending beneath the surface, far beneath, into the creaks, groans, and damp stone, where the secrets whisper and the unspeakable calls. Let me ask you something. Have you ever heard a sound only to convince yourself it was nothing? A faucet dripping, a branch tapping at a window, or perhaps the faintest of howls sliding up from beneath your floorboards. A sound that makes your blood chill, though you'd never admit it. Well, sometimes the sound does mean something, and it might not stop until it has your attention. This is the story of Annabelle, an artisan aiming to redesign her dream home. She moved, finally, into her ancient, creaky new house, part charm, part menace. All herringbone patterns and vintage flair, until she removed the rug in the study and found a trapdoor. A curious soul, Annabelle couldn't resist the lure of its handle. Behind it, a set of stairs led into darkness thicker than ink. A half-breath away, she swore she felt warm air escaping like the faintest exhalation from something unseen. The stairs descended below what any house blueprint should explain, spiraling farther into places that had no logical right to exist. She entered, flashlight darting nervously, an explorer in her domain. At first, only dust motes were there to greet her, swirling around like the fragments of forgotten dreams. But the further she ventured, the warmth returned. Heavy, wet, like the sleeping breath of a giant. On the walls, engravings, some ancient language carved in manic repetition. It looked almost alive, somehow vibrating as she read, like something murmuring just beyond understanding. Each day after her discovery, the house spoke louder. What started as barely there hisses became audible scratches, then moans. Soon it was undeniable. Someone, or something, beneath her floorboards was moving. At night, during the day, scraping, crawling, waiting. Annabelle wasn't naive. She thought, no, hoped, pests, rats, raccoons, even termites would have been preferable. Anything mundane to quiet the shriek clawing inside her mind. Until one evening, she followed the sound. The trapdoor widened its maw as Annabelle journeyed with determination, flashlight trained but trembling. The warm air pelted her cheeks like errant whispers. Below, the engravings seemed to evolve, spelling words she didn't know but felt pressing against her thoughts themselves. Gravity pushed stronger with every cautious step she took. Sound intensified, like splintering tree roots groaning. And then, she found them. A set of footprints etched into that disconcerting dampness, visible only when her light hit them. Human, bare, but distorted, smudged into strange, clawed shapes, contorting the mechanics of nature herself. Her heart thundered now, a drumbeat against the walls of this unconventional tomb. It was there that she saw it. At first glance, it looked like a shadow, but no, it was thicker somehow, something material and alive yet utterly alien to earthly comprehension. Its figure defied known geometry, pieces shifting and folding into each other seamlessly, endlessly. But then, its eyes, its eyes, locked onto hers. Milky, dead, yet far too knowing. They weren't animalistic or predatory. They were ancient, observing, testing, perhaps approving? Frozen as it began crawling toward her, she stammered, thinking herself trapped. The creature curiously tilted what vaguely suggested its head, and with sharp intent swiped one claw-like appendage toward the nearest engraving. Annabelle watched as symbols reshaped around it. Brightest red, the same way you correct a misspelled word on paper, only bloodier. Examined, it left its influence tattooed behind, then stopped. When she awoke, Annabelle wasn't in her study. She wasn't even herself, not fully. Bits and pieces of her seemed to misfire. Memory fragments were like puzzle pieces unwilling to interlock. Neighbors say they'd still see her tending her garden from time to time, but swear they couldn't explain what seemed amiss about the way she moved. Too fluid, too sharp, too rehearsed. Faint echoes of groans are still heard just beyond the floorboards. The house hasn't sold. You see, my spellbound friend, sometimes the unearthed, has a way of leaving its mark on us, long after we dare to tread where we oughtn't. Will Annabelle remain herself long enough to remember? Or, more chillingly, has what emerged already infected her reality, like a parasite tampering with a host's sense of identity? We may never really know, but the next time you hear something faint, something whispering beneath your home, ask yourself if it's worth the risk to answer. Until next time, my precious creature of the dark, stay restless, stay curious, and always, always mind the echoes. They're watching, even if you pretend not to listen. I'll see you in the dark.